Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Straight Line Podcast. My name is Jeremy Maartens, and today I'm going to be discussing with you guys the upcoming 3-day stage race, the Blue Diamond Classic in the north of Pretoria, taking place on Thursday the 16th of September and finishing up on Saturday the 16th. I think this is a pretty cool event. I can't remember when last there has been a stage race up in the Gauteng area of South Africa. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what this brings from a racing perspective and what this can bring going forward. But yeah, before we go into the nitty-gritty details of the stage and who I think will do what, where and how, let's get into the teams and who they are sending to the race and what I think the riders will be doing or the teams will be trying to achieve. First up, we're looking at Team ACDC. If I look at the start list here, Brendan Havenga, Stian and Divan Landsberg and Josh Dyke. Brendan, fast finisher. I think if it comes down to a sprint, he's going to be the kind of guy that's going to be in that mix. He'll be in that front bubble. He's always there. I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Next up, Josh Dyke. Now, I've been working with Josh for the last couple of years. We've had a lot of success on the track. He's not made the transition, but he's been doing a hell of a lot more road work this year, racking up the hours, building the engine, building the capacity. Also the kind of guy that when it comes down to it, when it's a sprint, he's going to be right up there. Next up on the list, Team Autorama Pro Cycling. I don't know too much about these guys, but from what I do know, they're from the Klerksdorp area in the northwest. I've seen them at a couple of the East Side Crit events. Always getting stuck in. I just haven't seen them pull off any kind of major victory yet. So hopefully with 3 days of racing, there's an opportunity for them to step up and pull something decent off. Next up, Team Honeycomb. I think with the team they've got going there, you're looking at Jason Eggert, you're looking at Casper Creer, you're looking at Jaden Terlouw, Jaco van Dijk, and Bradley Scott. Jaden Terlouw, I think, would have to be their favorite fast finisher, or their out-and-out leader when we come to your Royval on stage 1 and your criterium style race around Swartkorps on the Friday. Jason's the kind of guy that when the racing gets hard and it's exposed and it's going up a drag or a climb, he's the kind of guy that's going to be there, almost the same sort of class as your Brandon Downs type of rider. I think I mentioned it the other day. They're both not known for the most vicious sprint out there, but when the race gets hard and exposed, that's definitely the kind of guys that are going to be there. And in a 3-day stage race, it's not a one-day race where you get one opportunity and if it goes away, poof, then you bug it, then everything's gone. A 3-day stage race, there'll be more than one opportunity for those types of guys to get up in the race and animate it. Hoping for Jaden, for him to, Jason. Jason to get a good result on the tour. I'm sure Jaden's going to be up there in the sprints. Casper, I would imagine, is their team captain's been around for long enough. He knows the system, he knows the roads. Yeah, very, very solid team. Looking forward to see what they can do out there. Next up, Office Guru, the team of Jamie Taylor. Jamie's had a knack over the last decade or so, more longer than a decade, to pinpoint youngsters or figure out how to work with youngsters and how to get the team to ride well and deliver deliver good performances. Look at a guy like Mark Pritson was working with Jamie. Jamie helped him build a team around him, and Mark had very, very good results and good performances before he left to Italy to go ride at it was Team NTT at that time. Then from there, Mark has gone on to do well. He's won SA Champs. Yeah, so Jamie's got a good knack for this. With the team that he has here, we are looking at Emil van Niekerk, Warren Moorman, Josh Reerders, Ivan Harkema, and Jared Hay. Emil is a proven fast finisher. When the races come down to a bunch sprint, you can bet for sure that he's going to be up in it, and he's going to be placing, definitely in the first 3 or 4 places minimum. Definitely a rider to look out for on stage 1 around Royval. If it's a bunch sprint, Emil's definitely going to make an impact there. Next up, we are looking at Spacer Cycling Team, the relatively new cycling team to South African Pro Cycling. It's nice to see that is a place for youngsters to ride together and learn what it's all about. They've recently signed Ruan Deploy. Ruan Deploy in South African cycling doesn't need too much of an introduction. He's been around for a long time. He's raced, spent many years with Pro Touch, so he's raced internationally. He's won internationally. He's got the experience. He'll be a good guy to help lead that team. And also, of late, he's been through a bit of a difficult time. A couple of health issues the earlier part of the year. Now, yeah, I know Ruan. I know he'll be hungry, and I know he wanted to come back and get some good results, show who he is. I don't anticipate any massive results from him for the week or next week at the Blue Diamond Tour, but I definitely think for the race at the back end of the year, he's hungry. His form is going to be on the up. Yeah, I think he's going to be definitely a rider to keep an eye on. Next up, Team Aluwani, the team of Nolan Hoffman v. Hoff. Now, also another rider that needs absolutely no introduction in the South African cycling geography. He's won almost every race in South Africa. I think every race, not almost every race. Fast finisher, proven race winner, knows how to win. Comes down to a bunch sprint, he's going to be right up in there. And he's going to get you a win somewhere along the line as well. If it's a bunch sprint for stage 1 around Rooiwal, expect him to be up in it. The criterium on Friday around Swartkorps, he's going to be one of the guys I'm definitely going to put money on for the bunch sprint. Another strong rider in their team, Reynard Butler. Also another guy who's been around for a long time. Doesn't need too much introduction. He's won a lot of good races. Raced internationally. Got good results. Expect something from him this coming week. Next up, Team DMS. Also same as Team Honeycomb. Doesn't need any introduction. Very good season. Very good riders. I think a race like this will suit down to the ground a guy like Gustav Basson. Very strong. Very fast. Anticipate on Thursday for Rooiwal. It's either going to be a bunch sprint or a group sprint. Either way, I think he's the kind of guy that's going to be in the front. The criterium, he can hold his own. He's fast enough. And then, the Saturday's Blue Diamond Classic, that course also suits him well. So he's definitely got to be one of the favorites for this. Next up, we're looking at Team TEG. Team TEG with probably the most successful stage race rider in South Africa over the last little while, Brandon Downs. He's won the Tour de Cap. When there's a stage race, Brandon seems to always bring it. Strong rider, very good climber, very good time trialist. The race, the Blue Diamond Classic, doesn't have too many climbs, not a time trial in it, but it's the course will be very lumpy. That part of Pretoria can also be very windy. He's got the experience, he's got the strength. If he can capitalize where there is space where he can get a gap and make an impact on the race, if there's a guy that's going to know it and the guy is going to know how to execute, it's going to be Brandon. So definitely a guy I would also look out for. He's going to be on my favorites list, definitely for the podium. And another good rider in that team, youngster Blaine Kick. Strong guy, fast guy, big guy. Come back from a recent stint in Belgium. He's come back, his form's really good. I expect him to be a hitter for the Rooiwal stage. Let it be a bunch sprint or group sprint, he's going to be there. And then on Friday around Swartkorps, I think that type of racing will suit him. Strong, fast, bunch sprint, group sprint. Blaine's definitely going to be up in it. Next up, we're looking at Team Tufo BMC. They are the team of the current reigning champion of the Cape Town Cycle Tour, Chris Jooster. Chris is always the kind of guy that's going to go there, animate the race. He doesn't sit around and wait for it. He's been training hard the last couple of months. His form is on the up. So I also expect him to be right up there in the mix. When the race gets hard and it's all over the place and line up in the gutter, he's going to be the kind of guy that's going to be in the front whipping it up. Another strong rider in that team, also fast finisher, had a good couple of results of late, is Eric Cross. Also been around for quite a while. He's still young, but I've known Eric for a good couple of years. I think a race like this will suit him. Very fast sprints, lumpy circuit, windy. I expect him to be right up there in the mix. And when it comes down to a sprint, he's got the goods, I think. All right, that's for the... We haven't missed no one. Right, we all here. that's the teams and the riders for the race. Now let's get down to it and talking about the stages. Stage 1, Thursday, 14th of September. 5 laps of the Rooival circuit. Now, the last podcast I mentioned, it's not the most challenging circuit around from a technical point of view, from an elevation point of view. Not super technical and shouldn't provide too many challenges for the riders. If it's a windless day or relatively windless day like it is in Joburg today, I expect it to be very fast around there, but I don't think the group will split up too much. My call is a 25 plus rider going down to the line for a sprint if it is a windless day. If the wind is blowing, that circuit can be a bit of a nightmare. The wind, you're going to have a headwind section, tailwind section, a gutter section, and a gutter section. Now, if you can get your team organized, if you can identify danger areas, and you use your team strategically, you can cause a lot of damage there. You can ride a lot of riders out the race by placing the teams in the gutter. If I was riding the race, or if I was involved in team management of one of the stronger teams, I would definitely look for doing something like that when the wind blows. You can do a lot of damage there. And on any stage or any stage race, tour race, it's very difficult to win the tour on stage 1, but it's very easy to mess up and lose the tour on stage 1. An unassuming stage like out at Rooival, you go into it thinking, it won't be too difficult, you can survive. But if the wind blows and you find yourself in the wrong position in the bunch and a strong team gets echelon going and really putting the pressure on for 5 or 10 minutes, you can find yourself in a lot of trouble. And the time that you lose there, it's going to be very difficult to get it back. Especially, you've got stage 2, which is around Swartkorps. It's an hour criterium. You won't be getting a minute or 2 minutes back on there. Cool. So, on that topic of the criterium of the Swartkorps Raceway, I'm sure most of you listening to this live in the Gauteng, Pretoria area, and everyone will be relatively familiar with it. It's a 2.4 kilometer, essentially horseshoe shaped circuit. Oh man, good road, good tar surface, relatively flat, a little bit technical. The corners coming into the finish, very fast. I'm expecting your Gustav Bassons of the world, your Blaine Kicks of the world, your Jaden Terlouw, definitely Nolan Hoffman, Kiman van der Merwe. If it comes down to a group sprint, I'm going to say these guys are going to be the ones going for the line, and I would think that the riders in their respective teams are looking out for. But with that being said, if you're a GC rider, you can't go into a criterium like that and think, oh well, it's just an hour cruise around, let me just keep myself out of trouble, place my sprint rider in the good position towards the end, I think your job is done. Very fast, get it wrong going through corners, you can lose too many bunch positions. Last lap, when the pressure's on, if you're sitting too far in the bunch and somebody sits up in the line, next thing you know, you can find yourself losing 20-30 seconds easily like that. So it's the sprinters are going to want to be in the front. They're going to want to go for the stage win. You got the GC guys who are going to want to be in the front because they don't want to lose any time. So the last lap or 2 laps on that circuit could be very, very interesting. All as if I'm a GC rider, I'm going to definitely be in the front. You can't afford to lose any time there. Right, last stage. On Saturday, the 16th of October, it's the same day that the Blue Diamond Classic will be taking place. Now, how the organizers are going to do this, the 3-day stage race, they're going to start, starting time, I do speak under correction, I think it's at 7 o'clock. Those riders will start and then give it 15-20 minutes or so. Then the licensed riders and all the various age categories will then start after them. So the riders that are doing the stage race, they will start first, and the riders that are doing the classic, they will start after them. Now, the race will go from, I forget the name of the start-finish area, but basically in the Cullinan area, you will head out past Rayton, over the highway, past the Boschkorp turnoff, go all the way down to the main road. You'll turn left and you'll go to Bronkhorstspruit. Just before Bronkhorstspruit, you'll turn left again. Then you'll start making your way back towards Cullinan. Now, sure, most of you or a lot of you would have ridden the race last year. And if you are familiar with that area of Gauteng, the wind almost always blows. And almost every time the wind out there is a big factor to take into the race. So for the overall tour, your stronger teams need to be attentive. The way the wind typically blows for the first 30 Ks, I'd say 35 Ks, you're going to have a tailwind. And then when you get to the T-junction, when you turn left towards Bronkhorstspruit, you're going to have a gutter section there. 100% for sure, you're going to have a gutter section. Very fast, potentially very dangerous. GC guys, you want to be up there with your team around you. The guys that are going for the stage, they're going to want to try and force the issue to get away, to try and get into a move, to sprint from there for the win. That section of about 15, 20 Ks, crosswind, dangerous. You've got to be very, 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 very wakker not to miss a split there. Just before you get to the dam, Bronkhorstspruit Dam, you turn left. There is a long drag going up there. Depending on the way of the wind, you can either have a block headwind or you can have a cross tailwind. Another very dangerous section. Once you go over the highway, I don't want to say the race is flatter out that way. There's a few lumps out there, but if the wind is blowing, very, very dangerous. Dangerous in the sense that if you're trying to hold onto a lead, you want to be in the front and you don't want to miss a split. If you're the type of rider that wants to use your team and try and force a split, it can be a perfect opportunity. Big, wide open space, gutters. Yeah, it's actually quite exciting if you think about it. The last 20, 30 Ks of that race, which is the last 20, 30 Ks of the tour, the race can be won or lost there simply in the gutters. So yeah, to all the GC contenders, I hope you guys are aware of the course. Yeah, it's a type of place, if you aren't aware and you aren't ready, you can lose a fair chunk of time. So yeah, that's my general breakdown of the Diamond, the three-day stage race Diamond Classic, which is happening at the end of next week. Yeah, it's cool to see something like this, and I hope that we can have more bike races like this to promote our sport of bike racing. Anyway, see you guys in the start line. Cheers, bye.